we have to definitely begin with Juventus because that is the big game for the almighty Blues. Hopefully we'll get the might back, right? But let's firstly talk about what have we done against Juventus. Strangely in so many years, of course, Chelsea being a Champions Club and Juventus, we haven't played much, but the times that we have played in the Champions League, those have been real close matches. Most of them, I think we've drawn twice. We won just once, I think in the 2009, as you saw, that we beat via Drogba goal. That actually took us to the quarters where we beat Liverpool, and then of course that Barcelona fiasco, by the referee, that is, and we all remember that. That was a very important win in itself. But 2012 Oscar goal, like everyone remembers that. I think more we talk about it less, but we were eliminated and back to the Europa League after being champions, and that's something that we don't want again. In fact, we were really routed, like 3-0, I believe. So as of yet, we haven't really beaten Juventus at home. That is Juventus Stadium, right? As in, we haven't really beaten them. So it is definitely a big game, Taron. I know that the ManCity game is something that we quickly dwell upon. It wasn't a great game. Everyone knows that Tuchel probably got the tactics wrong. The mentality of the team was not right there. But having said that, I think it to some extent it comes down to the formation as well, because I think they probably took for granted each midfielder, and I'm assuming you will go for a 3-4-3 with probably the people who are slightly ill or injured that Tuchel said, probably not playing. What do you reckon? I'll probably share what I think, but yeah, you can probably go ahead and tell me what you feel about the team.
Yeah, I think the lack of strength in midfield wasn't due to the numbers. It was just the formation, in my opinion. The players have been playing, you can say it's just one position in the same kind of system, taking a player out of the front three into midfield. But for me, it's so much more than that. The pressing diamonds, how you press, how you drop back, how you build up in the build-up play. I think when you drop one player into midfield and make everything a bit deeper, it does change a lot of different kind of dimensions in everything, like I mentioned before. And you can see that when ManCity were building up from the back, we needed a third player to kind of go into the final third, press whoever was left back, was it Cancelo, press one of the two centre-backs and kind of help out there. And then you think Mason Mount would have been perfect in that team. And yeah, I know Werner and Lukaku, they can both press really well, but if they're both pressing and then there's a spare man easily to pass to, is there really a point? And then we just end up dropping into our midfield three, and then it's just easy for Man City to pick up through the pockets, have space. They like to be playing against teams that drop deep. That's how Man City play in the best against the low teams, in my opinion. So that's how we kind of fell back, and we were still kind of playing a high line at times despite being dropped back. So for me, it was just all wrong from the mentality of players to the tactics to the team selection. I thought everything was wrong. But yeah, for this game, 100%. Yeah, what you put out there, Ankit, is very close to what I'd put out. Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic. I think Loftus-Cheek before, I would have never said he can play alongside another progressive midfielder.
Yes,
we saw the Aston Villa game at home in the Carabao Cup. He was so good at protecting the ball from deep, building up from the back, even driving a bit forward more than Jorginho does for Chelsea. So yeah, it was really nice to see. And yeah, Chilwell especially, I'll bring him back into this game 100%. I think Alonso, I think quite an interesting quote from Jonathan, Manhandle CFC, said that the more Alonso plays, the more he kind of wears out and the more he kind of fades out from his good form. Even the Conte season, he started off amazingly well, and then that form did he still played, but his form did kind of die out. And even under Lampard, and now it's coming under Tuchel as well. So I think it's a perfect time. Bring back Ben Chilwell and then absolutely exploit Juventus a lot, because Alonso factor is kind of wearing down. And yeah, the two attacking, 10s in this team. We mentioned on the stream before, Ankit, about, 3 left footers, but I think the dimensions can easily work. Lukaku can play on his right foot. Havertz can play on his right foot. Ziyech, he likes to play on his left foot. But I think let's try this out for one game. I think it can really work well. We have the pace, we have the technical ability, we have the dribbling, the skill. So I think it could work really well. And yeah, but Man City was really disappointing, man.
Exactly, and it's all about trying, right? Until we try, we will not know whether it will work. And again, people in chat, I would like to know, what do you think of this lineup? Is this something that will work? For me, again, risking Thiago Silva again, it's a big, long season, right? I don't want to kind of risk him again. He was kind of brought in too early. I know he got a large tackle, but he wasn't 100% as well. That was clear to see. And same with Jorginho. So I would rather rest them and give Chalobah, who are probably more motivated, just like Loftus-Cheek, right, to play this game. And like Taron said, as in the strength is there. Juventus are a strongly built team. So hopefully, we are able to, fend that off with Loftus-Cheek being in the midfield. So interesting again, chat, please tell me, what do you think will be the starting lineup. Again, for those fantasy managers, I'm not sure if we have the late winner show in the house today, but I know that they are FPL experts for sure. And Shreyas says I have Hudson-Odoi right over Aspi, attacking dynamism with Aspi isn't there. Well, true that. But again, Juventus, we'll come to the Juventus team for sure. But from what I know, Juventus, they definitely have a couple of people injured. They have, I think, Dybala definitely injured. He was in tears, as we all know. And Morata is probably injured as well. And I think Rabiot also might be slightly injured. So those are the three, kind of ifs and buts for Juventus. So that will probably make them change the formation. That is why I'm going with Azpilicueta. I'll probably share what I feel the Juventus 11 will be. Again, people in the chat comment, based on what you think, if you follow Serie A. But they have been playing 4-4-2 entire season, and I get that. But the fact that both the centre forwards are injured, and it's against Chelsea, the champions of Europe, I think they'll probably revert to the wing back formation, which has traditionally worked for Juventus as in over the years, right? And again, Cuadrado is there, an ex-Chelsea man himself. So I don't know. This is something that I would expect Juventus to start with. But Talk, I'll come to you. Talk, I'm not sure how much of Serie A have you followed lately, but again, this on paper, Talk looks a fantastic team. Again, we watched Euros. You were there, Talk. I know you. I was there in a few watch-alongs with you. Definitely, as in this looks a great team, right? As in, what is it missing in Juventus? Because as of now, they have, I think, won 2 games, but only one last weekend at home, the first one, then drawn 2 as well as lost 2. So there's definitely something missing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Juventus have a bit of a sticky patch on there. That's a bit right, and in the Serie A. So you know what? You look at your form in the Premier League. Yeah, all right. So you came up against Manchester City. They play in front of you, make it difficult because they pass the ball so quickly. And that's if you're not sort of well drilled at keeping your shape. That's where Manchester City will just take the mickey. So they're pushing the ball wide, and they're like, I watched some of the game, and people were talking about Manchester City was bullied Chelsea, but from what I watched, I didn't see it like that. I just didn't see it like that. I thought it was just a case of Pep understands that you got to move the ball quickly against Chelsea. You give Chelsea time to get at you, they will do. They're not going to just let you do what you want to do. But if you, like I call it, the phrase playing in front of teams, Manchester City can do that very well. So, but going into this game against Juventus, if I was going to back anyone, I'd have to back Chelsea, to be fair, just simply because Tuchel is going to be. Listen. Tuchel is a great manager. We know that he's a fantastic manager. This loss to Manchester City will have hurt him massively. He's a proud manager. And he's going to want to, he'll have a go at the team. The team will have a go at each other. I think that's the kind of mentality there is there at Chelsea at the moment with Tuchel. They've got to be questioning each other. It's not a case of you've just lost the game and you go home and we'll talk about it in the morning at training. No, it goes deeper than that. If you're going to be successfully sustaining any kind of success, so I think Chelsea are definitely favourites going into this game. I think you're just too solid for Juventus. I mean, they've got some dangerous players, we know, but for me, I would have to back Chelsea. And that system that you put up there, the 3-4-3, yeah, I mean, it's a brave system, isn't it? Are you away or at home? I can't remember.
No, as in it's at Juventus, right? So that's where I'm going to come to Michael, because I know Michael kind of knows his tactics in terms of Serie A. So Michael, I know Juventus have played 4-4-2, but I think it's a blessing in disguise, right? That they kind of got these injuries, and against Chelsea, matching Chelsea, and that will probably suit them, because imagine De Ligt again. I know I'm a Dutch supporter and all that, but it's De Ligt, Bonucci and Chiellini. That's some centre back, kind of at the back, and Cuadrado definitely will want to get one over Chelsea. What do you reckon?
I don't think they're going to play that 3-4-3 formation. Allegri is just a simple Italian manager. He'll stick with the 4-4-2 formation. He'll probably play Kulusevski, who usually is at the wing. He'll probably play him in the 10 spot. He does that for the Swedish national team. Then we'll have Chiesa on the left, Cuadrado on the right, and then we'll see Bentancur and then Locatelli, who's a very good Italian midfielder, in the midfield. And then I think it's just going to be Bonucci and Chiellini at the back. But I've watched a lot of Juventus this year, and they started the season horribly. They were like Arsenal, basically. First 4 games, they only had 1 point. They lost to newly promoted Empoli 1-0. They lost to Napoli horribly. They gave a 2-0 lead away to Udinese because WeeklyReview Szczesny, he may have left Arsenal, but Arsenal never leaves him. Let me just tell you that. WeeklyReview Szczesny this season has been absolutely horrible. So if you guys can take advantage of him, I would definitely do that because Szczesny, he's just a void of confidence. And then the last 2 games, they've kind of come back in form. They were 2-1 down against Spezia, who's a team that's probably going to be relegated. Then they came back to win it 3-2, and then over the weekend they beat Sampdoria 3-2. And then I think Chiesa is now back in the starting lineup. He was injured for the first part of the season, and we know from the Euros he's such a dangerous player. But this Juventus squad, it is lacking a lot of confidence, let's say that. They're 10 points behind the leaders, Napoli in the Serie A, so they got a lot of catching up to do if they want to challenge for the Serie A title. But I only see a Chelsea win here. I think you guys are a bit too strong for your squad, with your squad you guys have. Interesting that you have Loftus-Cheek in the midfield. I like that addition because he actually played a very good game against ManCity, very physical guy, and I think you guys need that, especially against Locatelli and Bentancur, who are very two box-to-box midfielders. So if you guys can overrun that midfield, I think Chelsea will win this game because the midfield battle is going to be key. If you guys can... Because when I did a watch along for Juventus AC Milan. At times, the Juventus defense was just all over the place. It's just so open from them at times. There's just no organization. But maybe now in the last couple of weeks, they might have been a bit more organized, especially with Bonucci and Chiellini at the back. But I'm going to go with the Chelsea win here. I said 2-0. I think you guys are just too strong. But maybe then Ziyech has to have a good game. Definitely your 2 camps behind Lukaku have to have big games.
Definitely. That's something that I think in the Champions League, hopefully it'll turn up because I think both have had fantastic Champions League, just 3 months ago, right? That's something that I'm looking forward to. But you're right, as in, again, Locatelli, someone who scored at the weekend, Kulusevski is someone who got an assist, if I'm not wrong, came on and can play that number 10 role. So, I can see that happening as well. So it'll be certainly interesting. But again, coming to Taron, I think we've got to speak about 2 players that, Chelsea are linked with. I know it's just, media reporting it. I don't know. It's because a big team is, going to Juventus is the right timing or not. But Chiesa, again being linked, as well as De Ligt. I think it's over 100 million is what the fee is touted for. So, Taron, where are you at? Getting De Ligt or probably promoting Biamba is the better option, right? What do you think?
I mean, if we were to take away the rumours, I'd 100% take both of them at Chelsea. 100%. I think Chiesa, for me, is one of the most promising midfielders in Europe right now. Attacking midfielders at the Euros, he was one of the most standout players for me for Italy. His goal against Spain was absolutely superb, and against England, I thought he was really a kind of standout player against Kyle Walker as well. It's not easy to get the better out of such a physical, quick kind of experienced right back, but Chiesa did that really well. So yeah, Chiesa, one player I'll definitely take at Chelsea right now. I think Hakim Ziyech, he's done really well to kind of come to Chelsea, try and show who he is as a player. I don't necessarily think this league is suited for him right now. So if he does try and get a move in the summer, I think Chiesa could be a player we could get in to compete in the attacking roles. 100%. I think he offers something different. He's really sharp off the mark. He's really creative. He's really good at shooting. He has a great end pass in him. And there's a reason Juventus signed him from Fiorentina. It's because he's a real talent. Juventus don't sign any old Larry from the shop. They sign top class players. De Ligt, I mean, we'll go on to him now as well. Yeah, I saw 100 million, but I think it was for a master, something like that. So obviously I'm not going to take it too seriously. Spanish Sun, that is basically for UK kind of watches right now. But yeah, De Ligt, 100%. Since he's joined Juventus from Ajax, definitely not been kind of the potential. He was at Ajax 100% in the Champions League. But Ajax, I remember watching him against Tottenham and other games. And wow, what a young, great, promising defender he was back then. But for Juventus, I think injuries have really played a factor in him not being a great player. Bonucci and Chiellini's kind of resurgence, as you could like to say, and Desari and Andrea Pirlo, they've really started to come into their own again. So yeah, I mean, he's not been the best for Juventus. 100 million, I think, is a bit too steep right now for De Ligt. And Jules Koundé is a bit too high up on Chelsea's list right now. But yeah, if we are linked with Chiesa and Chelsea got tomorrow, Marina Granovskaya gives the money to Juventus and says, we'll take him right now. Of course I'm going to take it because Chiesa is superb. But De Ligt, on the other hand, I'm not too sure on him. I think the last few years haven't really been too promising in my opinion. So yeah, I'd rather take Koundé. But Chiesa is one player that I've been following for years. And at the Euros especially, I thought he was absolutely superb.
Fantastic. Exactly. Again, I love a dribbler as well. Personally, I would go for him. Again, only if, people leave and talk about people who can dribble. Pulisic. Again, I think Pulisic has been training individually. So hopefully in tomorrow's presser, we'll get more details, like I said. But I can certainly see Pulisic come on, even if he's like a 90% fit. I think we may take a chance if we are kind of not as in winning the game. As in he's someone who can do something extra. I know Hudson-Odoi, the call is that Shrey yourself has scored, but for me I think Pulisic has that quality, especially in Champions League, do something different altogether. And yes, again, big up to people who've joined late. Rishabh, I think from the Late Winner Show, as well as Drog Baba. Drog Baba has been on the channel, great channel in himself that he has. So lot of Juventus talk there, guys. Again, people in the chat, come up with your starting 11s and predictions.